In a world where two friends decided to watch movies from their youth, then decided to start a podcast about it, we present to you the Movie Test of Time. A podcast about the only medium that matters, the movies. Presenting your hosts, America's sweetheart, Beth Martin, and Irish ruffian, Andy Young. Hello, that's us, your exhausted and nocturnal hosts, this week looking at bringing out the dead. Beth, a pleasure as always. What's the crack?
Hey, buddy.
Hello.
Hey, hello, good morning, good evening.
Good morning.
You're like, it's not morning, but it's a time of year where it looks like we're in the same time zone, even though we're totally not.
It does. I mean, the light beaming into my eyes at the minute tells me it's not because of where this room faces.
It's
so,
true. And like there are times for anyone that watches like the video version of what we do, that you're in the dark and it's like very hard to see your face.
Yes, it's true. It's very different.
So it's like,
and it changes really rapidly. I'd say over the course of a month it went from being quite dark to like, oh, it's bright now.
Yeah.
It's not.
No, so it's I know you're not a vampire, but sometimes I wonder, so.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want it. Do not want. There's something. I don't know if I've explained this to you. There's a really kind of weird attitude to, like, in my opinion, to like sun in this country because it's a rarity. So like, if it's a sunny day, everybody's like, well, you need to get out in it. You need to get out in the sunny day, and it's like, well, no, I'm out every day. I'm out every day, rain or shine. It's nice. It's nice. I'm out. I'll be out anyway. But maybe I just want to, like, close the curtains and play video games, and that's okay.
Yeah, you're like, I'm not going to follow the sun's beckoning.
No.
Yeah, you go.
No,
clog up the roads.
You're not the sun of me
right?
As I wave my fist at the sun. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, you have a lot of promise of sun. Like, you're like, it's going to break through. It's going to break. And then it just never does for, like, probably months.
No.
But, like, the promise is there, which is, like, that's...
It is.
I think that's what keeps people around. Like, when I lived in Oregon,
Absolutely.
There was no promise. There was
that's
just
a good point.
There was just endless rain. So.
Well, welcome to the grey.
Yeah, I know. I have some things, actually.
Okay.
I had a week and I did some stuff.
Oh, hell yeah.
Who wants to hear about it?
What happened?
Did you get it?
I put my hand up.
Andy.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay, so I saw Marty Supreme.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Timothy Chalamet. Chevrolet. He's lucky because good news for him. I liked it. I thought he did a good job.
Yeah.
I really I actually enjoyed it. I was kind of like, meh. I don't know why I was that way, but I wanted, to not pay money, I guess. So I got to watch it for free.
Sure.
And I really, really, really enjoyed it. I think the promotion, everyone was like, maybe he's being the character as he's promoting it, but I really didn't get that sense based on the character in the movie.
Not at all.
So I don't understand that whole thing, but the promotion machine is just weird right now in general.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, so that happened. I also went to Dancing with the Stars live.
Oh, yes, of course. Mm-hmm.
And so I saw, if anyone watched season 304, I think it's 34, but Robert Irwin of the Irwin family won the Mirror Ball trophy. And so he was there, and so you get to see all your favorite stars dancing. And they play like epic music that everyone recognizes, and everyone's screaming. And it's like, but we've been watching. Did you guys see the Crocodile Hunter show? Was that a thing?
We are aware of him for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
For us, it was like everybody watched it because it was what the things he would do. He would just be like, "There's a cave, and it's me." I'm not going to do the accent because I'm going to be nice to everyone. But he'd be like, "There's a murky cave. Let me dive in there and see what's in there." And then he would pull out, an alligator snapping turtle, right? Which everyone should Google that right now because it's terrifying.
I remember South Park doing an episode about him basically trying to stick his fingers up animals' bum holes, essentially.
Basically.
Yeah.
And he made a whole show about it. We were like, this is amazing. And he's like, conservation. You're like, okay. But so his family, now we're watching the show, The Irwins. And it's all about the zoo, the Australia Zoo.
Oh, yeah.
And it's really actually, like, you get to know the animals and, like, all of their, like, medical stuff. And you get to see them, like, taking care of the animals. And sometimes they pass away. And, you know, the circle of life and all that stuff. But it was just so sweet. So you see, like, like, we're on episode 1. So, like, Robert Irwin is 14. He's a kid, right? And he's like, this year for my birthday, I want to feed the croc. And, like, it's a whole thing that they do. They have, like, a croc amphitheater. Steve used to, like, just jump into the water with the crocodiles, literally. And it would, like, it's, like, you know, 600 feet long. And he's trying to eat him. And he's like, I love you so much, or whatever. Anyways, going to Dancing with the Stars Live. I think he's, like, 20 or 21 now, Robert Irwin. The amount of, like, 35 plus women that were like, and then he took his shirt off. And I was like, he's baby Robert Irwin. Like, I can't separate those two things. I cannot.
Once he, I think he gets past a certain demarcation line, they're like, okay, it's okay for us to perv on him.
I don't think he's there yet, and that kind of freaked me out. Also, we stayed in a hotel downtown. We got it for free because Mike has, like, travel miles, and he was like, I'll get you a hotel so I don't have to drive home.
Nice.
And it was a late show. It doesn't matter. Anyways, but it was, like, one of those hotels. I think the Dancing with the Stars people might have been staying there because it was, like, super nice. It was right across the street from the theater. And we had turn down service. So we came in our room, and Herbert was like, someone's been in here. And I was like, what? And we're, like, looking, and I was like, oh, my God, like, the curtains are closed. And I was like, oh, they turned our beds down. And then I noticed that they had, like, towels and slippers, like, next to each side of the bed. And I was like, and then I started thinking, like, why would you need to literally not touch the floor, right, with your feet at all?
That's a good, yeah.
And then I was like, I turned to Harper and I was like, this is so people don't have to touch the floor with their feet. This is rich. This is some rich people shit here. That's what we're dealing with.
Yes, that's true.
And it's like, you're so rich that you're, like, thinking about, like, I just don't like germs. And, like, I'm so rich that, like, I just don't really want to touch my feet on the floor. And that's where I draw the line, Andy. That's where I draw the line.
You know, but, you know, enjoy living in that space for a day. You know, it's nice.
I ate the chocolate.
Yeah. I mean, you got
begrudgingly
wasteful otherwise.
Right. And then I mashed it in the carpet for other people to step on.
Sure, smart.
Yeah. How about you? What's the crack? That was a lot, but I've been busy.
That was good.
Finally.
It's nice to be busy. Well, sometimes. Anyway. So, also some movie news. I've seen a few different films. I went to see Exit 8 in the cinema, which is an indie movie. So there have been, increasing over the past, I would say, few months, or maybe like year or so, there have been more movies coming out that have been based on indie games. Like there was one called Iron Lung that came out a few months ago. And this one was also based on a game. I had at least heard of the Iron Lung video game, but this movie came out based on a game. I've never even heard of the game, but it's essentially about this guy who is caught in this, like, he's trying to leave a subway station and he gets caught in this liminal space where he is in this sort of like looping set of corridors. And he's given rules that if he sees something wrong with that corridor, he's to turn back. If he sees nothing wrong with the corridor, he's to continue onwards. And for a movie that is essentially set in two corridors, really compelling, really interesting. The kind of core, there is like that was clearly what the game was about. They've tried to inject a bit more of a kind of like story, I guess, because they're trying to make it into a film, which isn't quite as successful. But like the core idea is very cool and kind of unsettling. So yeah, I enjoyed that.
This is reminding me of that. I'm trying to find the name of it, and of course I can't in my mind palace. But
gamer movie?
No, it was a movie with Tom Hanks where he's stuck at the airport for like.
The Terminal.
The Terminal. It's like The Terminal. Which, like,
Yes.
an airport is essentially a corridor. So, not to be like they stole that idea, but maybe. I love that. I love that.
I mean, this is an idea that has, you mean, like, it's that idea of, like, liminal spaces. There's, like, a big movie called The Backrooms coming out later on this year that is essentially based around, like, this area called The Backrooms that exists kind of, like, just the edge of our reality, which is, it's a very sort of cool concept. So, you know, they seem to be doing quite well, and it'd be interesting to see where this sort of trend goes.
Yeah.
But I thought it was very good. I also, so my movie membership is running out this weekend, so it's like lit a fire under me to watch a few things that I've been meaning to get round to, and I'm thrilled, like, because, like, it got me to watch two films, both The Florida Project, which is one of the early movies by the guy that did, oh, I've forgotten it now, the movie that won the Oscar for Best Picture last year.
I don't remember either. It's fine.
It's gone.
It's
And
all I can remember is the year before, which is like Oppenheimer, Barbenheimer.
yes, Anora.
Oh, right.
So,
did you watch that again? Have we rewatched that?
no, but I really enjoyed it. I saw the cinema and really enjoyed it. But this was one of his earlier films called The Florida Project, which is like such
I've started
beautiful
watching it
movie.
too. Is it wait? Is this a documentary?
It's not. No, it's not. It's not a documentary. It's basically but he uses a lot of like real people as actors. Willem Dafoe is in it as the manager of this like hotel that like these families are kind of living in, and it's essentially about one lady and her daughter, but it is mostly about these kids kind of playing together in the shadow of like Disneyland. Essentially, they're just outside the Strip, and it's really wonderful, but like really heartbreaking in a lot of ways. But like it's just filled with like wonderful moments. I really enjoyed it.
That sounds great.
It's really great. I really dug it. I mean, it is sad, but like it's really beautiful in a lot of ways too. I also finally watched The Worst Person in the World, which I've been meaning to watch for ages too. I fucking loved it. I thought it was fantastic. Like, I had seen Sentimental Value a couple of months ago and really enjoyed that, but I think Worst Person is absolutely phenomenal film. So yeah, both well worth checking out, I think.
I watched Sentimental Value too. I'm looking at The Worst Person in the World. Okay, I'll get there. That's awesome. These are all really...
So they were great.
Yep, good. Love it.
I definitely recommend both those. And, you know, not film related, but I have some terrible news, Beth.
Okay.
The terrible news is that Victor's Way is closed forever. And
what?
You know, do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yes, so weird. I was looking at... Well, no, because, like, it doesn't matter. Why? I see the photos of us inside the snakehead all the time.
Yeah.
When I went to visit Andy a couple years ago, we took us to this place called Victor's Way, and it has all these weird... It's like I don't know. It's someone's amazing, like, brilliant idea to take a bunch of land and then to turn it into, like, whatever Garden of Delight they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
And
basically, but it's like through this guy's lens, and it's nuts. Truly insane. Like, it's I love outsider art, and it's one of my favorite kind of pieces of outsider art.
Yeah.
If I take the park as a whole that I have ever encountered, just wonderful.
Yeah. I've never seen anything like it. And I've seen some weird shit. That's so
Yeah.
why? Do we know why? Where's Victor?
No, well, so what we do know is that
what's going to happen to all
Victor
of it?
has not sure as yet, but Victor has morphed into the druid Finn.
Oh, right.
And
I remember reading something about that on the wall. Like, covered in, like, laminate.
Yes. So he's doing that. He's got a really, it's like, the website is like, it is very kind of 1990s coded. It's just like filled with like, you know, bright neon greens and pinks and things.
So he's still working in HTML, which is awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so he's turning it into something else, or he's just like...
I don't know that this... Because he has a statue of a druid now. I don't know where it is. I think it's going to be at the Victor's Way place, but I don't know what shape it's going to take. But he has moved into his druid era, and yeah, that's where we're at with it.
All the time... I'm sorry. hold on.
Yeah.
What about, okay, you guys who are listening, if you're not driving a car, like Google Victor's Way in Ireland.
Yeah.
And
if you can find the website, ideally.
Yeah. Or,
it's
know,
tough.
just photos of what they have. You can click on images too. You know how to Google, everybody. But, like, it's super, it's trippy. And not only that, like, each piece that he made was, like, made from stone that was shipped all the way from India. And he's, like, got all these photos in this room of, like, the shipment of all these, and picking the right, what is it, marble? I don't even, granite? Don't know. And, like, and then making it into the creations that he made. Like, the effort, man.
Yeah.
You've got to be committed to moving on.
It's incredible. Truly incredible, and it makes me very sad that it's closed.
You need a statue. You need to email him and be like, yeah, you do in your backyard. Everybody else has, like, half a castle. You could be like...
Jeez, I'd take any of those. Yeah. You know what? That's a good question.
Send him a message.
Let's find out what's happening.
Be like, I got a fruit tree that I need to put a statue on top of, so I don't have to.
I got a space.
Yeah.
Give me your elephant statue, please,
Fuck
or Ganesh, or whoever it is.
Yeah, or even just like one of those reclining benches.
Right.
They're so comfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like this like hard bench with like a like wood pillow, and you're like, wow, this feels good.
Because it was for like, it wasn't sunbathing, it was for soaking or sun bath or something like that. It was
sunbath.
But it was like, it wasn't sunbathing, it was something else. It was, but yeah.
God.
So yeah.
Okay, that's news. That's news.
My terrible news. So, do you have any what's occurring for us, Beth?
I do. So we had, our last episode was the Tree of Life. We had a little feedback on that. Top fan, hey buddy, said, gotta be the hardest sell on your Malick menu. I've not seen it, but I hear To the Wonder is regarded as his weakest and most tedious film. Maybe do a bonus episode on that as an endurance test of your critical faculties. And I was like, absolutely not. I was like, you try and watch Malick for a whole month.
Hey, buddy, you watch Tree of Life and then we'll see, okay? Don't tell me I haven't watched Tree of Life, but go and watch his most terrible movie. Why don't you? You freaking chancer. Unbelievable. Wow. I'm not watching any more Terrence Malick.
Oh, he's like crossing his arms. Okay. Sorry I made you mad. Before you have to go teach yoga class. Don't be angry at people. Down dog, get in down dog. Okay. Do you have any down the street?
No, I do not. This week.
No mess ups.
So shall we get into this week's subject?
Yes.
Which is the final movie in our Patricia Arquette season, Bringing Out the Dead. What a way to end with a Martin Scorsese movie.
Yeah.
And, also, she's fairly prominently featured as well, and she has some nice, storylines of her own. I thought she was going to be, like, a kind of real side character, but she is pretty important throughout the story.
Very important.
Yeah.
There were some weird theories online about, like, what she represents. Some of it was religious. Okay, so quick synopsis for those to jog your memories, because, we know you watched it and you're following along, but just in case. So basically the plot depicts 48 hours in the life of a depressed New York paramedic. His name's Frank. He's working graveyard on a 2-man ambulance team. He's burned out, exhausted, seeing ghosts, as you do. He's not sleeping, I think is his problem. Is like, he's just like, he needs a good night's sleep. Like Andy and I. Which is why we're both a little crunchy today. So he's seeing ghosts, especially a young woman he failed to save 6 months before, and he's no longer able to save people. So like every night he goes out and no one survives apparently any of his shifts, or like he's just not able to like get people saved. So he brings in the dead, basically, hence the title, Bringing Out the Dead. We follow him for 3 nights. Each night he has a different partner. Larry, who thinks about dinner, which is one of my favorite parts. Marcus, who looks to Jesus. And Tom, who also one of my favorite parts. And Tom, who wallops people when the work is slow. And also his own ambulance. Frank befriends the daughter of the attack victim he brings in. She's Mary, played by Patricia Arquette, an ex-junkie, angry at her father, now hoping he'll live. And Frank tries to get fired, tries to quit, but keeps coming back to work and to Mary. So,
yeah.
ta-da! Ta-da! The Aristocrats.
It was,
Sorry.
The Aristocrats. Yeah, it's like... It's so interesting because like some of the films that I was watching as well this week had such like great energy. You know, like even when they were like touching on like negative subjects, they were really kind of sparky and kind of filled with life, and like, but this film just feel like more of a trudge. I mean I know that was kind of intentional because like basically our lead character is really struggling with, like we say, insomnia, depression and things like that, but it just feels like spiky and angry and kind of violent, you know, and like it's not like a violent film for the most part, you know.
I mean it's like it's not, but working a paramedic, being an EMT or a paramedic, do you call them paramedics?
Yes.
We call them EMTs
so.
or paramedic. EMT is emergency medical
technician.
Yep. But it's like it's a violent job.
Yeah, I it is a brutal job, and I have to say, like, I am so, like, who would want to do that? I mean, like, I fair play to anybody who does it because it seems like, you know, such a grim kind of reality, not just via this movie, but just through other things. It seems like a brutal job, you know, especially working a night shift. Doing that must be awful.
And you hear things, right? I hear like teachers say it all the time, like, "Oh God, it's a full moon today. The kids are going to be crazy." And like I've heard medical, you know, personnel be like, "It's full moon tonight. Like it's going to be crazy." And I think one of those nights I might have been in labor, and I was like, "Oh great, like
great, yeah."
Good thing I was in labor for like 3 days, so that passed. Yeah. There was no full moon.
Yeah, good news for you.
Yeah, I know. Doesn't matter.
So, yeah, I think they said at the start it's with combination of very hot and a full moon, so it's just like the perfect storm of like insanity, you know.
New York on a good night.
New York on a good night. This is one of the things I wrote.
Yeah.
Which was weird. A Martin Scorsese film set in New York?
I wrote
question mark.
I wrote Mark Anthony and Queen Latifah.
Yeah, I did not recognize Mark Anthony until I looked up the cast later on. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, I was like, no. I was like, that's like I don't know. He looks bigger when he's on stage crooning, I guess, than when he's playing someone with a brain injury. Anyways.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So. Director is Martin Scorsese. Heard of him? Have you heard of him?
How do you? You're not pronouncing.
Rack your brain.
Yeah, I think it's pronounced Scorsese.
Actually, there is apparently a way he does like it.
Are you serious?
Nobody pronounces it. Yeah, and I can't think of what it is because like I've known it as Scorsese for my entire life. And it's not quite that, apparently. I can't remember now. I should look that up.
Marty, call us. Let us know what you want to...
Yeah, Marty,
you call and let us know. Yep. Tell us what your last name is.
Yeah. So I think... I mean, this is arguable, but probably the most important working filmmaker. I mean, it's probably between him and, like, maybe, like, Spielberg.
Like, most important... You're walking into territory that I don't know. People are ready for that.
I understand this is dangerous ground to be walking on, but I feel like he's in the conversation at the very least.
I would say top 5.
He has to be. Yes, yeah. He has to be.
Yeah.
And like he has a litany of like incredible movies under his belt. Like I think I would hope that anybody who's listening to this probably knows who he is and like some of his works. But he has done films like Taxi Driver, Goodfellas, Wolf of Wall Street. Like it is an embarrassment of riches. Like there are so many, even his like lesser films, which I think this might be one of, are pretty freaking good.
I'm like going through his roster right now. I forgot about The Grifters. Have you seen that?
I have not.
Oh, it's so good.
So actually, the other movie podcast I listen to is doing a Scorsese season soon, so I'm going to use that to
copy,
fill in the gaps, fill in the gaps.
Copy?
No. Yeah, I'm all like. Huh? All of his films that I haven't seen, I'm going to watch basically when this podcast is doing them. But his first movie is Taxi Driver, and just because we talked about it recently, he names John Ford's The Quiet Man as one of his formative influences. And because we brought it up before, because Beth got in trouble about it, he is another Roger Corman student.
Who the fuck is Roger Corman?
You're gonna get in so much trouble, Beth.
I
Stop.
love it. Sorry.
So yeah, but like again, like it's we could do like multiple episodes just talking about Martin Scorsese and all the incredible stuff he's done. But you know, if you're not aware of him, it's worth looking into him and his films. You will not be.
I think I need to take this might be our first piece of merch. Who the fuck is Roger Corman t-shirts? And I'll make one of them and I'll send it to Top Fan. Okay.
So rude to Roger Corman. He would not wear it. He would be across it.
I know. Sorry. I'm like crying.
Okay.
I'm so funny today. I'm sorry, everyone.
We're both extra punchy. Everybody's sorry.
All right. Keep going.
Okay.
Martin Scorsese.
Okay. That's me done talking about Scorsese. For now. Because I'm gonna you do the next bit.
Okay.
I'm gonna
All right.
see if I can get this pronunciation locked in here.
So this is actually based on a book. Did you know that?
I did not.
So it's a book by Joe Connolly. Of course, he's probably Irish. There's all things lead to Ireland, basically. And that's just what I've decided. Whatever energy lines are running your way, it's a good thing. So this was his debut novel, also called Bringing Out the Dead. So it's fairly autobiographical, which is funny because I was reading some of the blogs about it, and all these people are like, this isn't what it's like to be an EMT at all. But it's written by an EMT. So it explores the life of the paranoid, hollow-eyed, blah, blah, blah. So it's Hell's Kitchen, and then it's the phantasmagoria of New York and Times Square, and you just start anyways. So having seen so much human suffering on the job, Frank, the main character, has turned inwards. He's despondent to the point of being a drunk, and his life is literally living hell. So I guess it was an immediate bestseller. It got optioned right away for $100,000. This was in 1998. So that was good money then. It's good money now.
It is.
And got produced by Scorsese and Paul Schrader, who also worked with him on Taxi Driver and The Mosquito Coast and Raging Bull and other films. It was a critical success, but didn't meet box office expectations, which when does anything ever, unless it's a Marvel movie. But basically that's where the story came from. Was from, and I don't know, it was interesting what his coping skills. I was like, oh, buddy, right? Because he's trying to stay awake and trying to his boss keeps telling him get back out there, and he's like, I just need to sleep, but I can't sleep, and so he's drinking, he's doing drugs, he's shooting himself full of adrenaline, just to keep doing the work, and as the movie goes on and the sleep doesn't happen, it starts Scorsese, or it looks warped. Life gets more and more warped as you go, to the point where I was is he dreaming or is this reality? He can't really tell.
Well, I think that, because that's what's so interesting, because it feels obviously it's, the sort of allegory in it is about the ghosts that are haunting him, both in terms of the people that he couldn't save and things like that, and then it's the question of, is he actually seeing these people, that he hasn't been able to save, or is he just losing his mind through because of lack of sleep and the stress that this job must bring to him?
Yeah, and are his EMT partners, because it's a 2-shift job, are they that eccentric and interesting every shift? I wouldn't be needing all those extra things if Ving Rhames was praying over everyone as they're trying to revive someone with adrenaline or whatever, or Narcan or whatever, and I was just Ving Rhames has hair, and he's delivering the best, one of his best performances, of which all of his performances are his best performances. Anyways, sorry, we'll get to that. But
I thought he had real Billy D. Williams vibes in this, because like he both has a Billy D. Williams look.
Yeah.
Like he has that kind of slicked hair, he has a moustache. Even how he's talking is very Billy D. Williams, and I was like, I couldn't find anything to kind of like confirm or deny that, but it really, he had such a like, it was good. He was great. He was so entertaining in it. He just had such energy.
I miss that man.
Yeah, he was wonderful. Is he? Did he die?
Yeah.
No, he's not. He's still alive.
Oh no, it's. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everyone. That was. Edit that out, Andy.
Okay, I'll edit it out.
Thank God. I was. Well, no, it's like. I was thinking.
I know he's ill because like he.
Are you serious?
That's why he couldn't do very much. Yes, quite seriously ill because like he. That's why he couldn't do very much in the most recent Mission Impossible films. So like yeah, he's a bad way, but he's still with us.
Oh God,
thankfully.
I'm not here to spread those rumors.
Yeah, we don't look look into that anymore. Don't find out any more information. Okay,
that's the good news.
That's the good news. Shall we move on to music? Or
yes.
Are you done with?
Yep.
Okay.
I was just chatting.
Love it. So the composer was Elmer Bernstein, who we've had it on the podcast before, or we covered in the podcast before when talking about An American Werewolf in London. So he is a composer who has done a ton of stuff. Like, I mean, I'm not going to repeat what I've said in previous kind of podcast episodes, but he's done like a ton of like dramatic work, a ton of comedic work. He is not a relation to Leonard Bernstein. And
his name is Elmer.
Yes, they just happen to have different names. They just happen to have the same last name, I should say. So I thought just, talk a little bit about this soundtrack. I think it's really kind of wonderful in that it is quite haunting and also kind of quite, I think not intense is the right word, but it kind of feeds that sort of like nervous, sort of crazy energy that like runs through the length of this film, just really kind of fantastic stuff. The movie also has a really wonderful soundtrack on top of the composed works. Martin Scorsese is also he pronounces it Scorsese.
Scorsese.
Mm-hmm.
Scorsese.
But like, I look it up on Google and it's just like Scorsese, So
okay.
Anyway,
Scorsese.
But he says Scorsese. So, Scorsese is a massive music fan. Like he has done a stack of like music biographies and things like that. So the film is like filled with really great songs, including artists like Northern Ireland's own Van Morrison, a totally chill dude, R.E.M. and The Who.
There you go.
So nice soundtrack.
Yeah.
I was being sarcastic there, by the way. Van Morrison is not a chill.
I was gonna say, is he really Irish?
He is really Northern Irish.
Okay, sorry, Northern Irish.
Reportedly, kind of a prick, but by basically any and all reports I've heard about him.
Okay, that's sad.
So, yeah, it is, but it's unfortunately quite a common case with celebrities. Once they hit a certain level of fame,
and they're like, I mean, I would, the new thing is like people are talking about parasocial like relationships with celebrities. So that's this year's like.
It's something that I know in the podcast space that people talk to about a lot because especially there's an intimacy to walking around with these people in your ears a lot of the time. Yeah. So people like feel like podcast hosts are their friends.
Yeah.
Well,
so, we are your friends.
Yes, we are. Of course, we are. In this case, we are. Maybe not the rest of them, but we are for sure. But yeah, so that's the music for Bringing Out the Dead.
I thought cast-wise, it was a great cast. There were a lot of people that John, John Goodman. Every time, I didn't think this was like his best work. I think he could have gone farther.
He didn't have a ton to do.
No, he was like, I want to eat food, and it was like,
yes,
yeah, but
he was always lovely to see him though.
Yeah, so also there was like, yeah, so you can hear voices from the 911 operators, and I was like, I swear that's Queen Latifah. And I was right. Yes. And then the second one, I was like, why do I recognize that voice? And then I was like, oh, it's Martin Scorsese.
Yes.
And so that's like the latter half of the movie when things are even crazier. New dispatcher, and it's Martin Scorsese, like in his lilt, like telling them what to do, but also like in a poetry kind of way. I will say, like, his descent into the chaos of, I don't know, not sleeping well, and then, like, showing up at a drug dealer's house and being like, yeah, I'll take the drug you gave me. And then, like, having, a paranoid, like, episode, and then grabbing the girl and running out. It was just, like, the movie was generally hard for me to follow. The freneticness, like, I understood it, you know, for those insomniacs out there that have gone like, you know, 4 days without sleep and not driving an ambulance and dealing with like the worst of the worst of the emergencies. Like it's a whole thing.
Like I respected, you know, them, you know, showing how overwhelming it was, but like it also felt kind of overwhelming to watch as a result.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is, you know,
exactly.
Maybe not always what I'm looking for in a movie.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I get it, and you know, and it has, like, it's broken up with, like, lots of, like, you know, maybe not fun parts, but, like, you know, kind of spiky, kind of, like, energetic things, or, like, crazy moments with the cast, you know, but, like, yeah, it wasn't chill vibes.
No.
Let's put it that way.
I wrote, I think the new podcast that we do should be called 90 Minutes or Less.
Yeah.
This is like an hour and 45 minutes, and I was like, fuck, okay.
I know.
I'm on board with your complaint, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I was like, whatever, Andy.
It worked out quite nicely for me the other day because, like, I switched on a movie and I was like, oh, The Secret Agent is on here. I really want to watch that. And I was like, this movie's 2 hours and 40 minutes. Fuck. And then I was like, I don't have that in me. But then it made me watch The Worst Person in the World because it was just over 2 hours. It was like, well, that feels more reasonable. Yeah. And I'm really glad that it pushed me towards that, you know. Yeah, one of the things, just before we move on from actors and stuff, was that, like, one of the things I'm really loving about this kind of project that we're doing is that upon watching old movies, I see so many actors that I know from, like, TV shows and, like, other kind of smaller movies. Like, I'm so, like, much more familiar with different actors and things like that. It's just really nice to kind of go, oh, wow, because, like, there's two people who are, like, alums from The Wire. Michael Kenneth Williams, who has famously got the kind of scar on his face, and Sonia Son, who was one of the police officers in, and I was like, I think that's her. And it's just really nice to kind of, like, you know, see these people and go, wow, it's very cool. And also Ada Turturro, who is John Turturro's sister. Yes. Who is
Sopranos
Tony's
fame
sister in The Sopranos.
Fucking love her with her, like, kiss, or no. Not kiss.
It is a kiss tattoo.
On her boob.
No, not a kiss tattoo. It's Rolling Stones tattoo.
With the lips. Yeah. Good. Yeah, good. Always love to see her. She's underutilized. And it's like, I want all the, like, everyone that was in this cast, I was like, oh, yeah, like, I haven't seen this person in so long, or, like, you know, I just pay Hollywood, I know you're listening, pay everybody more so that they, like, can stick with this. We need our character actors, I swear. So, absolutely. Common themes, you know, death, suffering, redemption, salvation. So I have a quote from Scorsese. I'm not trying to be snarky. I'm trying to say it right. I'm sorry, everybody. So he said, some people kept asking, gee, New York looks a little different now. And I say, but you're looking at the surface. This is not about New York. This is about suffering. It's about humanity. It's about what our part is in life. The whole thing about how New York is changing, getting better. It goes in cycles. Some people are saying the movie is representative of New York in like the early 1990s. It's different now. And I say it's not so. We were there. We were shooting in that area. We were out. They were there, those people. And if some of them aren't on the streets, believe me, they're they're going to be someplace. And I saw some of the places where they are. You don't want to know. It's underneath the city in a hole. It's under the railroads. It's the end of life. It's the dregs. It's down. You can't get any lower. So.
I like, I feel like it's quite interesting because to me, and certainly my understanding of New York, is that this was when New York was kind of on the upswing as well. Because like for like what it was like 70s, 80s, I think it was seen as very dangerous and very kind of like downtrodden.
Yeah.
And then they kind of like completely cleaned out the kind of city center and kind of, for better for worse, kind of made it quite touristy and quite kind of like
it's
friendly.
Super fun to visit now.
And
but I remember like going back to visit family and, my dad being like, well, we can't really go to, like, he's like, I'm not comfortable taking you to Times Square,
Yeah.
And there are theories as to why all of that, got cleaned up. They added an NY police department in the center. They also, there's a theory that they just gave a bunch of people that were issue problem, folks, one-way tickets to Philadelphia, and other cities. Yeah. And we're like, yep, we'll basically pay for you to get out of here. Which, who knows, but whatever they did, it's very different now. And like, I took my daughter there last year and we had a blast. But I also, the idea of a place having cycles of good and bad, like, I believe that at least for that city. Probably both cities. Yeah. So, yeah. I thought it just, and also, like, you can see what is... I wrote, because I was watching there's a documentary that he made about himself that's out right now. I can't remember which channel it's on, but, I'm picking away at it. And he went through, like, a big, like, cocaine phase. And I'm like, this is probably, like, when he was a drug addict. This feels very much, it's the end of life, it's the drugs, it's down, you can't get it any lower. And I wonder if, like, some of that is him talking about himself.
Yeah. Because as we're talking, I'm thinking about, like, the David Simon, who did The Wire, also did a show called The Juice, and it was about, and I was trying to remember what era it was set in, but it was set in New York, as it turns out, the 1970s, and it was like, at a time when that city was really struggling and there was a lot of crime there. It was very dangerous.
Yeah.
And
like, watch Drugstore Cowboy, I think.
Oh, I have never seen it.
And that's like, is that what, I think it's with Dustin Hoffman and...
I think it is, yeah, it is.
Angelina Jolie's father, whose name is not coming to me right now. Don't yell at me.
Angelina Jolie?
Yeah, her dad's name, he's a famous actor. Anyways, so, but that really shows it's like, turning tricks, all the...
Midnight Cowboy you're talking about.
Midnight Cowboy, not Drugstore Cowboy. That's Gus Van Sant. Sorry, yes, John Voight.
Yes.
Thank you for listening, everyone, to me. For Andy trying to, like...
We're both very tired,
we are, it's fine. We've just been awake for... This felt like 48 hours of movie, everyone. Yeah. This is what you get. Okay, so... Yeah, that's what I have there.
Love it. Yeah, so, like, any other kind of thoughts on the film, or...
I do. Yeah, I wrote, so, like, I guess that Nicolas Cage was married to Patricia Arquette during this time.
Oh, I suppose that's true. Yep. Yeah.
But I didn't know that as I was writing all my, like, I, like, take notes as I watch it, and then I go and I do my research after for, days and days and hours and hours. I wrote, is he dead in real life? He looks dead. Was he hanging out with Charlie Sheen around now? Probably.
Oh, yeah, probably.
So, I don't know how this works in the UK or Northern Ireland, but here, all ambulances are actually private contractors. Like, it's a private company. They're not through health care, insurance places. They're not employed by hospitals. So it's this whole, like, I don't know how it works, but I feel like based on the infrastructure that we saw in this movie, I'm like, we're in trouble.
Yes. No, I think it's all under the umbrella of the NHS here, is my understanding.
Okay. Yeah, it's not here, so it's privatized, and that, you know.
That feels problematic.
Yeah.
It feels like a mistake.
It is. It is. The nun with the fetus keychain, her name was Sister Fetus in the script. Okay. I said you could be her for Halloween. She's got this like...
Me?
Yes.
Wow.
I was like, you could be her for Halloween. Or like make... It's horrible. That's a horrible... I must have been tired.
That would be so many questions. That would be so many questions.
I was like, Bing, I love with hair. I was like, what kind of name so is good. I be banging?
So good.
Yeah, so
that scene where he does the kind of like gets all these like alternative kids to hold hands in a circle and praise God to bring their friend back.
Their friend I be banging.
Yeah.
So, yeah, go ahead.
So there was definitely like sparky moments like that I really loved and that really kind of picked things up.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. And then there was a piece of art in the drug dealer's apartment. It was like a volcano painting, but it also like kind of like moved. It was like one of those paintings where it actually, and I was like, oh, I want, someone has that, or it's in some like studio lot storage area. I would really like that painting. So if anybody has connections, that would be great.
I remember those sorts of things because it was like, sometimes they were like, you know, actually had stuff that like it was like a lava lamp, but I think that like sometimes it was just like that shimmery sort of like paint or materials that looked like
sometimes it's lights
active.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, can you hear my dog is sitting behind me? She's having a puppy dream. Can you hear her? She's like,
bark, noise. I can't hear her. No.
Bark, bark.
I've got a sleeping pupper
behind
me as well.
It's so cute, dogs. We love them. Okay, so do you want to know a few more facts?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, get ready. So, I wonder how many... Okay. So, according to Tom Sizemore, he and Mark Anthony did not get along and almost had a physical altercation on set.
Oh, wow.
I wonder how many times that happened to Tom Sizemore.
Yeah.
Just generally.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably fairly common.
Yeah. Martin Scorsese has admitted that he didn't enjoy shooting the film at all.
Oh, wow.
Which I kind of got from his quote. Also, most of it was filmed at night in mid-December, and so
I was going to say all-night shoots is being a nightmare.
And I saw a photo of him, you know, on the like they had like the camera operator like behind the ambulance, and he's just like looking at the photographer, and he just looks so miserable. So Martin Scorsese and Nicolas Cage rode along with real NYC paramedics in preparation for filming. Mm-hmm. Like, always like, well, then what? What did they see? What happened?
Yeah.
Did it end up in the script?
Yeah.
This I think is probably one of my probably in my top 15 favorite facts I've read of any movie ever.
Okay.
Every night during filming, Nicolas Cage would run through an average of 10 shirts through a combination of blood, sweat, and mud.
That is not, but also not surprising.
I know.
Considering how much shit is sprayed and like all sorts of fluids are sprayed over him.
So many. And this was
gross.
During, the AIDS epidemic, and, apparently it didn't matter during, maybe they didn't know. Anyways.
No.
Okay, so some of this, they did it, they're trying to fuck with your brains a little bit with the cinematography. So in the scene where Frank attempts to save Rose, the actors acted out their movements in reverse. The sequence itself was then played in reverse. This adds to the dreamlike effect of the scene in which the snow rises. Mm-hmm. So, we weren't sleep deprived. It was the movie's problem.
Okay, perfect.
You're fine. You're fine. I'm fine too. Right? Okay. Who would you pick to be the first choice of the role of Frank Pierce that was played by Nicolas Cage?
Oh man, I don't know who I would pick at the time. I'm gonna guess somebody like Sean Penn was up for the role.
Close. There's a list of 10 people that I feel like every time, every movie I'm watching, like during this era, I'm like, oh, yep, Edward Norton. And I was like,
okay, I can see that.
I feel like it would have been a different movie.
And this is like the only time Nicolas Cage has worked with Scorsese as well.
That's why he chose this
kind of
movie.
interesting.
He was like, yeah, I'll do it because it's Scorsese. The only Scorsese movie of the 90s to have no Oscar nominations. Okay, this is gross. I'm sorry. Before writing the script, Paul Schrader went out and also did some, they call them ride-alongs here. Sorry, I just got a sticker. I'm in my daughter's room and she's got this like stickers everywhere. Anyways, okay. Paul Schrader went out on several ambulance runs to get a real flavor of what the crews had to put up with on a normal night. The first night he rode out with them, he had to contend with the grisly sight of a homeless man who had been cut in half by a subway train.
Yikes. Yeah, no thank you.
And then be like, yep, let's keep going. Good idea. Let's do this.
I mean, good work and fair play to anybody who does that job. That's absolutely grim.
Also, for Laserdisc fans, of which I know Andy is a deep, deep Laserdisc fan with all the all the ones you have in storage, which are 0.
Of course.
Okay, so this, along with Sleepy Hollow, which came out in '99, was the last movie to be released on Laserdisc in North America.
Wow, fascinating.
Yeah, this is it. So if anyone has this, this is it. The end of that era.
Yeah.
What about mini discs? We don't know. Someone let us know about that.
Yeah, no, that was around the time when they were a thing as well. I think they were maybe slightly after that, but yeah, they didn't last very long.
No,
either.
They were like, oh, you can make them smaller.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I know it's absolutely insane. Like Laserdiscs were nuts. Like, because I used to work in a shop that had some of them, and they're just like big, heavy bastards. Like, they're even a bit heavier than vinyl. It was just a crazy idea for a format.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I also, cool.
Yeah.
Should we talk a little bit, just because obviously it's the last film in her month, how Patricia Arquette got on this film?
Yes. I really enjoyed her haircut.
Yes.
And the grow out.
Yes.
She had black hair, but I think it's blonde naturally.
With bits of blonde.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I just like her.
Yeah.
There's something hypnotic about her and everything she's in.
She's like, I don't mean this like, she's kind of like a delicate presence. Like, she feels like reserved and kind of like calming, and because it makes me wonder. You talked about some of the stuff that you'd read about theories of what she is. I could kind of see her, especially that she's named Mary, whether it had some sort of religious connotations or some sort of like biblical thing going on there. And I think that like she portrays that really well. Like, this sort of like, even though she has her problems in this film, like her character does, at least, she is this sort of like, she's removed from the rest of it in a really kind of interesting way.
Yeah. I agree. And, her, the way she delivers lines, her calming presence. I don't know. She just has her own, there's no one like her. And when you watch her, you know exactly who it is, like immediately, and all the stuff that she's doing. Like, I love that she's had a good career. She's doing a bunch of stuff with Apple, with like Severance, and she's so good in that. And I'm a fan. Patricia, we love you.
Yes. Like, I really loved, and it's a few years ago now, but I really loved like Boardwalk Empire, and she was a big part of later seasons of it as well, and she was fantastic in that. Like, and it was, I think, when I saw her then, I hadn't seen her for years and years, and like, she was so fantastic in that show. She really was. Yeah. Okay. Any other last bits and pieces before we move into our final few sections of the show, Beth?
Did you like the movie? Let's move into the next section.
We'll get into our next section, and we'll talk about that a little bit when we get our final opinion. Okay, so a few more things to do just before we wrap up properly, which is Too Legit to Fit, who are the best outfits in the movie. Not a ton of outfits in this movie, mostly EMT gear. However, purely for his facial hair and hair, it has to be Ving Rhames' character,
Absolutely.
Marcus.
Yes.
Just beautiful, and also like a lot of great cigar work as well. And I know that that's not technically part of your outfit, but he made it part of his outfit.
I just, what else are you going to do when you're driving your ambulance but smoke a cigar?
It's amazing.
Yeah. You're Ving fucking Rhames.
Ving fucking Rhames. All right. So Andy's Animal Acting Award for excellence in animal acting. Not a ton to choose from, I've got to say, in this movie, but what I've written down here is great fish tank work.
Yeah.
And it was great fish tank work.
It was. Those fish.
Little anemones and stuff like that as well. It was very cool.
And it's like the tiniest little anemone. And then this like clownfish was like, I'm living here. And I'm like, buddy, it's too small. Your house is too small. Everyone can see you.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Okay. So Beth, for Bringing Out the Dead, would you revisit, remember, refuse, or redo?
I kind of went with refuse on this one.
Yeah.
Knowing it's part of it is like when you're really good at something and you produce really good stuff for the most part, and then, everyone's scaling based on the best of your work. I don't think this was Scorsese's
no
best work.
And certainly in terms of like films of his that I've seen, it's definitely at the lower end in terms of my enjoyment of his films. Yeah. So like, like it's annoying because I think there's some really great performances in it. There's some really great moments in it. I just find it very oppressive and kind of also depressing in a way that I just like, I'm struggling with this a little bit. I still think ultimately I'm going to land on Remember. I think that it is I'd say it does have stuff in it, but it's probably like somewhere between a Remember and a Refuse for me.
Yeah, I don't think it's kind of like, when you watch a movie and you're like, well, that changed my life, and like I'll think about that it's like this. Whether or not I saw this movie doesn't change anything for me, I guess.
Yes, that's a good way to, because it's not a bad movie at all, but it's just a lot, and I don't know how super successful it is in terms of what it's trying to do as well, but like, it's Scorsese, so it's got some excellent elements in it.
I can kind of
some great actors,
Absolutely. I can kind of see like a little bit of Strange Days in it, which I know came out after. I don't remember.
Yes, but around the same. I think just before. Actually,
so it might have just been like kind of that was the style of that year or whatever.
5 years.
5 years. But 5 years. This came out 5 years before Strange Days.
No, Strange Days came out 5 years before this.
Okay, so maybe there's a little bit of that going on.
If you'll remember, Strange Days was set in the far-flung future of the year 2000. Well, that's right. New Year's Eve, 1999.
1999.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Beth, before we move into our final few, or our goodbyes at least anyway, can you tell everybody what's been bringing you joy this week?
Yes, I have 2 things, Andy. Because I'm showing off this week. So Dancing with the Stars live was like so fun. I took my 11-year-old daughter, and she said things like, "You're my best friend. This is the best night of my life." So I felt like that just felt good as a parent to like hear that. Yeah. And she's like holding my hand. It was really good. Also, I can save that. I have 3 things. No, I'll save that. So the other thing is, my favorite book is To Kill a Mockingbird. I named my daughter after the author. Like I have a signed copy. I'm sure I've like shown you my To Kill a Mockingbird book that's signed to me from Harper Lee. Have I told you that? Mm-hmm. Not to toot my horn, but I have a book signed to Beth from Harper Lee.
That rocks.
It's in the Bible that she wrote it, not To Kill a Mockingbird, just kidding. So my dad got it for me. It's like one of my most treasured possessions. But like the book came up 4 times this week. And one of those times Harper was like, when can I read the book? And I was like, well, you're not quite ready for the book itself, but I was like, you're probably ready for the movie. And so we started it the other night, and I could see how much it meant to her. Like,
yeah,
seeing where, like, I don't have a namesake. Are you named after anybody?
No, I think
okay,
so.
Yeah. So if we're just kind of like, whatever. We make our own, I don't know. But both my kids are named after something or someone. And so to be able to see, like, what your namesake is pretty special. So I got some joy. And she was like, I'm really enjoying this. And it's a really good fucking movie, I will say.
Yeah, it is. It is a great movie. Love it. Okay. So what's been bringing me joy is I finally, because I got rid of Netflix, and I've picked up Disney again, so I can get caught up on
Star Wars.
Some of the shows I've been missing. No, I mean, like, I'm caught up in Star Wars, sadly. Nothing. I don't need any more Star Wars right now. But there's Marvel stuff I haven't seen, specifically Wonder Man and the new Daredevil season.
Yeah.
The new Wonder Man, or not the new Wonder Man, the Wonder Man show is fantastic, really good. I am not completely finished it yet, but I'm really loving it. And I'd heard it was kind of quite meta and a real kind of different direction for the Marvel shows, and it's really wonderful. Like, Ben Kingsley's in it.
Ooh.
And he's playing, like, because he was the Mandarin.
Yeah.
It's all about him, like, trying to get his acting career back on track with with Simon Williams, who's the Wonder Man's.
It's amazing he didn't end up in jail forever, but whatever.
Yeah, well, this is it, and it's all kind of about that.
Okay.
So, like, it's really excellent, and I'm really it's been a real kind of, like, shot in the arm for me, because, like, I have been really kind of, like, getting very kind of strung out with Marvel. I'm very bored of it, but, like, so it's really nice to kind of reinvigorate my fandom for it.
Good.
Okay, so exciting news, everybody! We're using this episode, or this movie, to launch into our next season. Next month is going to be Nicolas Cage season. Pew, pew, pew. Pew, 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 pew. So yeah, I don't know if we teased this. I don't know if we have, but yeah. So we're going to kick off properly Nicolas Cage month with next week's movie, which is Raising Arizona. If you want to watch along at home. If anybody has any suggestions or any Nicolas Cage movies they'd like us to add to this list, please let us know. But yeah, so we're thrilled to be doing this, and it's going to be like a month of chill, normal movies.
I'm ready to laugh. Andy.
Absolutely. All right. Okay, so Beth, can you tell everybody where they can find us?
Can find us at ibbangin.com. No, just kidding.
ibbangin.com.
Sorry.
Let's see if...
No, don't. Danny's Googling it. I don't want to know. You can find us at movietestofTime.com. You can email us at movietestofTime@gmail.com. Suggestions, we got a few of those, so I added those to our list, Andy. I don't know if I ever told you that. And we're on the Insta and the socials.
On the
Insta. Maybe I'll add Threads. And there's always new platforms coming out. So just check us out. No, ibbangin.com.
Nobody owns IB Bangin. Let's go out on it.
Shit. Should we change everything?
No. Absolutely not. Okay. Love it. So yeah. So as always, folks, we've reached the end of this week's episode. And as always, we'd like to say goodbye to our exhausted and nocturnal fans.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Love you.
Hope that falls right with you.
Yeah.
Love you, Mike.
Bye.
Bye.